Hello everyone, welcome back to the live replay. I am turning on the music. It's just taking a sec to load. So let me get that going for you. There we go. And open up TikTok on my iPad so I'm able to see comments as we go. Welcome here everybody. And for those of you watching the replay on YouTube, if you do prefer to watch these live so that you can interact and join the polls and everything, these happen live on my TikTok account. And I always announce kind of what time of day that's going to be in my Instagram stories is where I make that announcement. So that is a good place to find us if you would like to be here live for these things instead of just catching the replay. And to those of you who are here live, welcome here. Shaylee, Anahi, Michelle, wow, you guys got here fast. I literally just turned this on. Thank you, Nikki. This is the first month in our next custom journal. Kristine bought this custom. So we did this little snowflake themed cover page, a cleaning tracker for weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly tasks, and then she can fill in which week she wants to do those in, week 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then check them off when she actually does them. We did the calendar with a notes box, and we are working on the weekly spreads. That's what we want to finish today and then move on to February as well. So I'm just gonna get straight to work on the weekly spreads because I am itching to start the next month. I feel like there comes a point in the weekly spreads where I'm like, okay, let's get this show on the road. I'm ready for the next month. So that's what I'm gonna do, is just kind of get going over here. And I didn't date them yet, so let's see. The Monday would be December 31st, 30th. 28th, 27th. Oh no, she's not staying anonymous. It is Kristine. You'll recognize her username if you see her, or like her picture. But yeah, her name's Kristine. She is the one who we did a name. Why do I pronounce things so weird? We did a name page for her pre-made journal months ago. She was the one who got the what's called Rottweiler. Navy blue lettering for her name, Rottweiler for the little doodle on her name page. That was her. So she's using that pre-made journal for this year, and then this is actually a full 2027 journal. So she's way ahead of the game on her journals here. So yeah, that's what we're working on for her. 3rd. Yeah, I definitely shared a picture of the Rottweiler one on like either a YouTube thumbnail or my Instagram or something, because I don't draw animals with confidence. I have gotten much more practice at drawing animals through the name page requests, but it's never something that I really, aspired to be good at drawing animals because I'm not an animal person. But I was really pleased with how that one turned out, the Rottweiler. And I think we'll be doodling her dog again later in the book, in the journal. So you'll probably see that little doodle at some point. And I know yesterday I was telling you guys that for February, it is her birthday month. And at first she was saying to surprise her, something just like birthday-ish. But she emailed me yesterday requesting instead to make it cat themed after her cat. So as I was saying, I don't really do animals with confidence, and that's true, but we'll do it. We'll do a cat theme for her, of course. So that will be February's theme. Hey Sherry, I'm doing well. How are you? Hey Tina, welcome here everyone. Thank you guys for joining. We are going to try to cruise through the rest of these weekly spreads so that we can get into February. Oh, thanks Sherry. Thanks for the YouTube support as well. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so what we need to add yet, we need to add doodles. We need to add a box. Each top corner box is gonna have a label that kind of rotates differently each week. And then the bottom corner is gonna be notes. So those are the things we need to add yet. I'm thinking doodles too, or doodles first, sorry. And then we'll move on to the box. I'm just gonna take a sip of my rhubarb punch. Does anyone else make rhubarb punch? I don't make it often at all, but my family, like rhubarb is one of those plants that just gets away from you. And then there's like two things that you like to use it for, you know? And in my family, rhubarb punch is one of those things. So we usually end up making a nice vat of rhubarb punch and then freezing it. And it's a random thing to drink on a random afternoon, but we had some leftover from a very late Christmas thing, so I get a treat. I made just like mountains of rhubarb punch for my wedding. 9 plants of rhubarb. Hokey Dinah. That would be a lot to keep up with, I feel like. What do you do with it? What are your best uses for rhubarb? Because I still have freezers, well, a freezer full of rhubarb bags that I didn't use from last summer, and I don't really know what to do with them because I don't think I need any more rhubarb punch. And other than like, you know, a one-time little rhubarb cake. My mom sometimes does rhubarb jam, but of all the jams, it's definitely not my favorite jam. You know? Oh, rhubarb and strawberry yogurt. Okay, I actually have some yogurt in the crock pot right now. Do you add your fruit like in during the process of making the yogurt? Or do you just add it in like when you're actually mixing your bowl of yogurt, you know? Because I always just make plain yogurt or vanilla and then add things in when we're actually like making the bowl, but maybe I should try a different strategy. Strawberry rhubarb jam. Yeah, that's true. Mixing it with strawberry does kind of make it a little more versatile. Oh, yeah, Mama D, alcohol markers bleed through anything, no matter how thick your paper. That's why with alcohol markers, people will always use like a protector page between and only color on one side of the page. They blend very nicely. They look so nice, but they are for like kind of one very particular thing, and that is a coloring sheet, like a page that's not involved in anything else, you know? So that's the sad thing. I would love to use alcohol markers for bullet journaling because the effects you can get with them are so cute, but it just doesn't work. But pretty much anything water-based should work. So Crayola Super Tips, you can grab those at Walmart or Amazon. They are very affordable. The ones that I use a lot are Tombow dual tip brush pens, but they are much more expensive. So I started with the Super Tips and then just kind of filled the gaps of like colors that I felt I wanted but didn't have in the Super Tips. I filled those gaps with Tombows. Oh, well, Jordan, my yogurt recipe, to be honest, I haven't made it consistently in a couple years because it is pretty tart. And I go through seasons of like, okay, if I mix this with enough like peanut butter and cinnamon and granola, I can like this. And then I hate it for like a year and then I start making it again. It's just milk and like you have to have an active yogurt to start it. So I just have some plain Greek yogurt in my fridge right now. I'm going to heat the milk to 180 degrees in my slow cooker, which usually takes 2 to 3 hours. And then once it's heated to that temperature, I forget exactly what temperature you need to drop it down to. And then you stir in your kind of starter yogurt and then stick it in the fridge overnight. That's the method that I use. I know there's like, if you have an Instant Pot, I know there are faster ways to do it, but that's what I do. What? Tina, you mix mashed banana in your jam? That's wild. I've never heard of that before. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, we definitely chose right. I was looking at our color swatches just before the live and I was like, yeah, we chose the right colors for the job this month. as it's cooking. Okay, that's very interesting. And does it, like, man, mushed banana in my mind is just like already nearly rotten. Like, does it not inhibit the shelf life of your jam? I don't know. It just sounds to me like it would taste like rotten banana as soon as I start using the jam. I would not even think to include banana in anything preserved. Yes, Lauren, we will be on this journal for a month or two. We'll be working on every single page, and we've got 192 of them, so got to get cozy over here. It just cooks away. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, that's something I've never ever heard of. Oh, you do it when they're fresh. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I really want to get into jam making more. I've made jam a couple of times with my mom, but never on my own. I know it's not hard. I just have not gotten into the rhythm of doing it. And we never had a garden and at our old place, but when we moved this summer, we have a small garden. You know, we're in town, so we've got 4 garden boxes and a greenhouse, a small greenhouse, like probably the size of another 2 or 3 garden boxes. And then when we moved here, you know, we saw the house in April, so you couldn't tell what was growing in the garden. We didn't even go out and check. There was still snow in the backyard. We didn't even think about it. But then when we got here, we were so thrilled because there was actually a whole bed of raspberries, golden raspberries, whole bed of strawberries, a whole bed of rhubarb, and then 1 bed that was empty. And we didn't plant anything in it because we moved here in the middle of the summer. But my 3-year-old just loves being in the garden. And so we weren't really able to pick anything more than like just for eating, because he would go out every day and check them and then just eat them all, which I encouraged. I love that. He was so precious. But we did get a lot of rhubarb because he didn't really go out there and just, you know, eat off a whole rhubarb plant. So we do have rhubarb in the freezer, but we didn't garden enough to like actually, you know, make stuff from our own garden produce. But I know my parents always do like the whole you pick, we pick. That's super popular around here. So they'll always go picking at berry farms once they've cleared out their own. They have a much bigger garden. And I've got an aunt and uncle with just heaps of Saskatoons that also make delicious jam and pies and everything. So I really want to get into the rhythm of making use of all those things for myself. Pomegranate jelly. Okay, wait, where do you live? Where can you grow pomegranates? Because to me, I would have assumed that they come from a completely different continent. A Saskatoon berry is very much like a blueberry, but it's smaller, and I feel like they're a bit sweeter. I don't know. I prefer Saskatoons over blueberries. Well, I like blueberries for eating plain, but for any sort of dessert that you would normally make with blueberry, I promise you it's better with Saskatoons. But yeah, they are delish, and they grow like crazy around here. We don't have any trees on our property, but we've got friends and family who definitely do. I'm just gonna take a sip of my punch. Oh, cool, Bookish Katie. Nice. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, we're working on, this is a like just full 12-month bullet journal. So Kristine just ordered this journal. So we're going to fill all of these pages eventually, but she wanted her journal to start in January of 2027. So we're only a few pages in, but over the next month or so, we'll be together on live designing all of these pages. So for the month of January, she chose a snowflake sort of theme. So we did this cover page. She requested a cleaning tracker as her bonus page over here. Then a 2-page calendar with a section for notes. And then right now we're working on the weekly spreads. We're, I would say, about halfway done the weekly spreads. And once we finish that today, we will also start on February, which she wants a cat theme for February. So that's what we're working on. We're only a few pages in, but we'll be working together on this for at least another month to finish the whole thing off for Kristine. I left about 20 pages at the beginning, maybe 22, 24, somewhere in there. Can't remember exactly. I know, she's so patient, Deblisa. Most people will start just kind of in the middle of the year if they order at this time in the year, but she did order one of my like pre-made journals for 2026. So this is my pre-made journal, which is mostly what I sell, is this journal, which I also drew by hand, but obviously a bit different because I had it printed in bulk. And you can still personalize elements like the cover and the charms and stuff, but she ordered one of these to use for 2026. So she's already using it for this year and it's got room for the whole year. So that's why she only needs her next journal to start in 2027. That is why. Yes, she has something to tide her over. Exactly. I know oftentimes people will wait till the very end of one year to try ordering a custom journal from me for the next year. But like at the end of the year, I am too busy packing orders for my other journal to even open custom bullet journal spots. So honestly, it's smart. If you want one, even just to start in 2027, just to order at the earliest possibility, because towards the end of the year, custom bullet journals are kind of what has to drop in order for me to keep up with other elements of this little doodling business. Yes, Stephanie, absolutely. I'm planning to start work on that in, I think, March. Last year I started it in either end of May or in June. I don't even remember. And I got everything out in time. That was fine, but I would love to do a colored version instead of like a black and white version too, but I want a colored version as another option for people, because especially when I show it to family and friends, because I don't really have family and friends who are like organically into journaling. They're like kind of vaguely interested because they know that I love it. So I gave some of them journals for Christmas and they're like, oh, well, I guess it's going to stay black and white because I don't own markers. I was like, oh. So I really want to have a colored version next year. So I want to design the black and white version with enough time for me to also redo the whole thing in color and then order both of them. She does have a theme picked up for February. It's cats. Specifically her cat. I think Brown Tabby is what she called it. Is that the kind that looks kind of like, I feel like everybody's known a cat like that named Tigger or Tiger, even though there's no orange. It's just stripy. I definitely had at least one Tigger that looked like that. But you know, we had like farm cats. We'd have like 30 cats at a time, and you know half of their names and half of them are just wild. But I definitely had at least one Tigger that looked similar to the picture that she sent me anyways. '28 or 2029. Oh yeah. Okay. I feel like I've been doodling snowflakes forever. Let's go here. Yes, that's true. I do discount pre-made journals and empty journals. I don't discount custom bullet journals if that's what you're thinking of. I just pick a, you know, an obviously not damaged journal to use for a custom. Oh, thank you, Jen. You're so sweet. Did you actually? I didn't even see the order come in. Thank you so much. And I do personalize those orders on live too if you ordered any personalizations. I don't have a whole lot of orders right now, so I'm kind of waiting. I mean, I for sure always ship out on Fridays, so I won't wait past Friday, but I was kind of waiting until like maybe Thursday or something to go cut all the gold foil and do all the personalizations on Thursdays live. This is for 2027. She is patient. She's got a pre-made journal from me for 2026, so she's gonna just hang on to this one until the new year. Oh, well, thank you so much for your order, Jen. I appreciate your support. Yes, I am. So yeah, my name's Rylee. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got 2 boys, and this is kind of my nap time, bedtime side hustle. So I get to do a lot of doodling, which is a lot of fun. And then for the past few months, I haven't been able to do a custom journal, which I mean is for good reasons. I've been packing orders of my pre-made journals, which I'm so thankful that they were so well received, but I am very glad to be back doing a custom bullet journal again. This is what we do most of the time on live, but there was a few months stretch there where we didn't get to do this for a while and we were personalizing orders. I am in Canada, yes. Yeah, Queen of Spades, honestly, that's the most common thing I get. I'll tell people, okay, try to order your journal at least, you know, have it start 3 or 4 months later so that we've got plenty of time to make it. I want to film a bit of content with it before I send it off to you. I want to make sure there's no, like, you know, delays in customs or shipping or anything that will make it, you know, cut into when you're supposed to be using the journal. But most people will order it like, okay, I want it right away to start the day that I get it. But this one is, we're gonna have to wait. Oh, that would be amazing if the tariff stuff would be garbage. Quick punch break. I'm a prairie girl, Monique. How about you? Small prairie town. Oh, it's rhubarb punch, Eve. Rhubarb punch, we had some leftover from, we had a very late Christmas gathering this weekend. Oh, you're from Alberta. Nice. I'm not from Alberta, but I spent quite a lot of time there. I played volleyball in the ACAC, so we were there every weekend for volleyball. Ontario, nice. Oh, I don't even remember, Tina. It's been a while. I want to say 9 cups of rhubarb, a can of pineapple juice, and then 15 cups of water. Something like that. And then you boil it like crazy, add a bunch of sugar, and strain out the rhubarb. I didn't actually make this batch. I haven't made rhubarb punch in a few summers. This was from my mom. She made last summer. This was from her batch. So for me, it's been a few summers. I don't need to make it every summer. It's delicious, but it is so rich. We don't need to have a steady supply of rhubarb punch in our freezer. It's very easy. Yes, you just chop your rhubarb, throw everything into a pot, boil and strain. It's very, very straightforward. I just don't remember any of the ratios these days. I made like 30 gallons of it for my wedding, and I think I've only made it once since. I just like overdid it because we had so many leftovers. We were just drinking rhubarb punch out of the freezer for that whole winter after that. Yeah, very easy and a good way to use up a lot of rhubarb instead of just like, oh, I want to make a rhubarb cake. Let me use 2 cups of rhubarb out of these like 19 freezer bags that I have, you know? Okay, done with that. Let's do the boxes and then we can move on. So, Jen, I always recommend, if you're just starting out, I recommend buying a huge pack. They come in 100 or 150 of Crayola Super Tips, just at Walmart or Amazon or whatever. They're super affordable, tons of beautiful colors, and easier to learn like calligraphy and stuff with if you want to learn that than using like a brush tip that's just so much softer, you know? So I always recommend starting with a big pack of these, and then if you feel like there are colors that you're missing that you really want, like there's not a lot of very soft colors in the Crayola Super Tips, so then I would just go and buy like individual Tombow dual tip brush pens that fill those gaps for you. That's what I always recommend. All right, so up at the top is always going to change. So for the first week, she wants it to be events. We are going to put a border around this. Oh, why did I spell events like that? That's okay. I need to not talk while I write. And then we're gonna have personal and work. And then personal, and then work again, alternating. And we are going to add white gel pen on the letters yet, but I'm going to save that for last. Okay, so personal work, personal work. Okay, and then the bottom is always going to be notes. Okay, and then here's where we need to start covering. There were 2 weeks at the beginning here where I stamped the wrong stamp in the wrong place. So we're gonna cover, oh, I don't even need to bother writing notes because we're just gonna write notes on here like we did for the title. And we're gonna make all of them look like that anyways, but because it's the same paper, we don't actually need to do it. So I'm gonna write notes twice on here to make up for that blunder. All right, yeah, and then we want to add borders to all of these to match this. So I'm gonna do the ones on the page first, I think, to make sure that they fit well, and then I'm gonna match the mistake ones with what I have on the page. If that makes sense. Bulk it up a little bit. Aw, thank you, Jen. You're so sweet. I hope you enjoy it. I know they're kind of niche. Like, I find them a lot of fun, but I feel like people who aren't in the journal world are sometimes like, oh, but why wouldn't I just use a normal planner? So I'm glad that you are looking forward to it, and I hope you love it. I put one of these journals, or one of my pre-made journals, into our family secret Santa. Like I said, we had a really delayed Christmas gathering. Well, it was canceled the first time because my grandpa wasn't doing well, but I put one in the white elephant gift exchange. And my grandpa was the one who opened it. And so I was like, okay, I feel like I need to explain, like, it's not just a notebook, you know, because he kind of just, oh, a notebook, and put it back in the bag. I was like, well, a little bit more. Sorry, don't mean to be that person, but I know somebody would steal this if they knew what was inside. And yeah, then my younger cousins battled it out for it, which I was glad that they were interested, because most of my family on that side has not a clue what I do for my, well, work. It's not really work, it's fun, but it is work. It's hard sometimes. Take a quick sip. That is true, dancing spoons. And no, it is a lot of work. Honestly, this season of life, I wish it was a bit less work, but I'm working on kind of dialing it back in certain areas, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Christmas was a busy time. I was trying to take like 2 weeks off, which would have been lovely. But you know, when it's you and just you, like, and people actually, you know, see your face and interact with you on social media, it just feels, I think, like I'm reachable all the time, you know, like people can still message me, email me, any platform, and I feel so bad making them wait if I'm on holidays. So I was still trying to, you know, answer their questions and everything. But it was just a bit stressful because I had so many people, where's my package? I was like, well, I see the same tracking information that you do. I'm just gonna copy and paste this from the last person who asked. Hey, Paige. Riker, yeah. Did I tell you what my name auto-corrected to in my own iPod when I first got an iPod? When I first got an iPod, I think I maybe mentioned this, but it was a long time ago. So when I turned 16, I got an iPod Touch. And my maiden name is a W name. And so when I typed my own name, Rylee, and then W last name into my phone, it auto-corrected to Tyler Wiener as my name in my phone. I figured out how to change it, but I had never had an iPod or anything before. So at first I was like, am I stuck with this? I'm not Tyler Wiener. That was a brutal autocorrect. Make that a little shorter. That's so funny, Paige. Oh, that sounds so cute, Nicole. Tuna, that's great. All right, I'm gonna cut those out and paste them where they are needed. And then we've got some white gel penning to do. Oh, did you, Lauren? Nice. Dancing spoons. So before I was fulfilling orders on live as well, it would take me about a month, like 4 weeks, give or take, to do one of these. The more orders that I pack kind of in between working on this, the longer it takes, obviously. So I think my most recent one took me almost 8 weeks because there were a lot more orders to be packed. So I'm not totally sure what to expect with this one. Sales have definitely slowed down a lot already now that we're on this side of the new year. But there's still some coming in, and the time that I'm here on live is pretty much the only time available to me to work on this, so I need to get my orders packed during this time window as well, which is why I just do it on live. But yeah, it kind of depends. I would guess maybe like 7-8 weeks. But I don't really know. I also feel like my designs have become, not that they're super intricate, but like they have become more intricate since doing them on live, because people just request, you know, more and more kind of difficult things when I'm doing them on live, which is fine. It's helped me grow as an artist a lot, but I used to be able to get through these a lot faster. Okay, let's do our white gel pen, and then I think we will move. Yeah, you do ask me for out-of-pocket stuff. And even just like, if I show 4 different weekly spreads or whatever, people will choose the most intricate, complex one. Like 9 times out of 10, that's what wins the vote. So it's like, okay, so we'll be working on this one page for the next 2 weeks, it feels like. That's just always what ends up happening, is the fanciest one wins the vote, which also means it takes the most time. Shelby, normally I do the entire thing on live, although this time I would consider, you know, like with these ones, I just had finishing up the weekly spreads to do. And I heavily considered doing that last night because I suddenly found myself with some free time. I didn't, but I would do that, I think, this time around. Just this time of year is kind of the best time for me to like cruise through custom journals because, you know, once March and April hit, then I'm also trying to design next year's planner. March, April, May, June is kind of full of that. And then over summer, I always try to slow down for holidays and stuff. And then starting in like September, October is when I actually launch my next line of planners. And so that takes a lot of work. So like this time of year is when I want to really just like hunker down and offer as many custom journals as I can because the rest of the year is always so uncertain for that. So I would work on minor things off of the live, like finishing up a weekly spread, but I wouldn't like start a new theme and make significant headway off of a live. Thanks, Patty. Oh, thanks, Tablista. Hey, Anne, how are you? Hey, Elle, thanks for joining. All right, these January letters are done. I'm gonna move on to the next page, but like, be very careful not to press down on this page because it does take a sec for the white gel pen to dry. Not very long, not like as long as if you're using paint markers or something, but just want to be cautious. It was freezing here today too. I know weeks like this are so tough because I would love to get out with my kids, but I know that if we do, it will last like 3 minutes. Is it worth putting on all the winter gear for that? I don't know. So we did not get out today. Oof, brutal, Tina. Wait, what's minus 50 Fahrenheit? Because minus 50 Celsius, yeah, that would be freezing. But with the wind, I feel like that's not unheard of around here. But I don't know what minus 50 Fahrenheit is. Oh yeah, Jen. Yeah, we'll just get like a week here and there where there will just be tons of snow, and then it will all harden. And then we'll get a fresh dump. All right, another Pages white gel pen done. I'm gonna take a quick sip here. Thank you, Melissa. Oh, Lauren, I do. Black tea is my go-to. This afternoon I'm drinking rhubarb punch, but black tea is my go-to. Black tea with cream. Always black tea with cream, either hot or cold. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I love having something to sip in the afternoons while I'm working. So it's usually tea. Jen, they have the month in. They have the month written in, but they're not dated, so you can use them for any year if you want to. And yeah, like if you start with, let's say you start with February this year, you could circle back and use the January pages for January 2027, because there's no dates in there to, you know, dictate which year you use it for. Oh, right, Paige, you did a big move. First winter away from the snow. Nice. Big snows. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, whoops. Put that right where a snowflake is going to be. Oh, sorry. What was... Did someone need an example? I totally can. Yes, I'm excited to see what we come up with for next year. Because after drawing this year's, I was like, I don't know if I can ever top that. Like, this is... The work that I did in that pre-made journal is, like, by far the best work I've ever done. I'm just nervous for next year's that I'm gonna just freeze because I won't know how to beat that. All right, back at it. Hoping for a quilt theme. Did you see what I did with my February theme? I kind of turned it into a quilt theme. And you can definitely do the same if you want a quilt theme. All right, are we almost done? One more page. And Kristine, are you here today? I don't think I've seen anything from Kristine yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, awesome. How are you, Kristine? I hope you're doing well. We will start on your February theme in just a few minutes here. So I know you sent me pictures of your cat. If you have any other notes that you want to make about that theme, feel free to let us know what you're thinking. And if not, then immediately following this page, or I guess the next page, I've got one more. Immediately following that, I'll head back to Pinterest and kind of do the same thing we did last time, where I'll look for a bit of cat doodle inspiration and then a little bit of different like cover layouts that would work with cat doodles. And then we'll vote from there. Oh yes, Lace of Spades. The pack of Crayolas is just called the Super Tips. They'll say Crayola Super Tips. And they come in packs. You can get small packs like 15 or 20, something like that. But I recommend the big packs. That's where the really good colors are. So I have the 100 set. That used to be the biggest, but they also have a 150 set now. They also have a pastel line, which I have not tried the 150 or the pastels. So I don't know what kind of gems are in those, but even the 100 pack is really good. Thank you for the reminder, Anne. No puzzle piece yet. I actually set a timer today on my iPad for an hour because I know, is it even going though? I can't even see it. Oh yeah, 6 more minutes. Because often it'll strike the first time at the 1 hour mark, but then after that it will be random. Yes, they are so affordable. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Yes, I am loving this one too. All right, last page of white gel pen here. I do have a tiny bit to cover up right there. Oh, the pastel pack of Tombows, nice. I don't actually even know which ones come in there. I'm sure I have lots of them, but I've always just ordered mine individually. I've never been able to like commit to a pack of Tombows. Oh yes, Amanda, the title page is my favorite part of this theme. This little quilt sort of look. Oh, Alicia, for the 2 pages where I stamped on Sunday, for most pages, this is just drawn on, but for those 2, it's glued in. I drew it on a different bullet journal page. So like same dot grid, same everything, and just pasted it on. That's how I covered up the stamp mistake. Sounds good, Kristine. We will be creative. I'm not a hyper-realistic animal artist, so we'll probably have some doodly cats and paw prints and maybe like a ball of yarn or a, I don't know, fish skeleton or something. Oh, we've got a few cat ladies here looking forward to the cat theme. Nice. Yes, I will, Mama Christie. I'm not entirely sure when, but at some point it will get posted. All right, last page of white gel pen is done, and my hands are ready for a little break. So off to Pinterest we go. Let me flip through this theme for you guys, and then we're gonna head to Pinterest and look for cat doodle ideas and different cover page layouts that could work with a cat theme. So this is the first month in this journal. Woohoo! We did a little snowflake theme for January. You guys voted on the layout for this title page, voted on the color palette, the title design, everything we voted on. Then we had a cleaning tracker over here for weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly tasks, and then she can fill in which weeks she wants to do them, which weeks she actually does. Then we have the 2-page calendar with a spot for notes. And then this is what all of the weekly spreads look like. January down the side, 7 daily boxes with a spot that kind of rotates in the top corner here, and then the bottom is for notes. This is a customized one for 2027, Ashley. Oh, there's my timer. So I'm gonna periodically, over the next few minutes, try to be pretty consistently looking up at my phone to make sure that the puzzle piece doesn't kick us out again. That also is, I just need to reset the timer because at that point I will want to check on my yogurt that's in the crock pot. All right, let's go back to Pinterest and grab some inspiration for February. So February is Kristine's, I tried to click the search, Kristine's birthday month, and she wants a cat theme. So we're gonna search for some doodle inspiration first and just save a bunch. So these look doable. I don't draw animals with confidence, but I do draw blobs, and these look enough like blobs that I could do them. More blobs, lovely. Yeah. Let's see here. I like that this one has just like some cat related things, you know, like just a paw, some little toys and food and stuff. So I'm going to screenshot that too, like a cat climber. I don't know, whatever you call those. Screenshot that one too. This kind of thing, this is always a nice way to draw animals, is just have them peeking up over something, because then you don't need to worry at all about like body proportions, angles, limbs, anything like that. So if I can get away with it, I will often just do the head of an animal when an animal theme is requested. Oh, something like this, even just like I meant to screenshot, not turn it off. even just like laid out as they are. I feel like that would be cute, just like a bunch of different cats. Okay, I think we have some good inspiration. Okay, I'll just screenshot this one because I like, again, the cat elements that we can bring in are also very cute. Okay, now let's go over to my bullet journal board and look at some potential cover designs. So this, you will recognize, is what we chose to use as our inspiration for the layout here. So we took completely different doodles, different color palette, everything, different font in the middle, but this was our layout inspiration. So I'm not gonna include that as inspiration for next month, but I am gonna just scroll through here and see which of these themes might work well with cats. I feel like this could be cute with a cat in the middle. I can tell she did not use just normal water-based markers for this. She would have used some kind of paint marker. So ours wouldn't quite have the same like printed on look, if you know what I mean, but we could do something similar. Let's see here, cats. Something that we could do. Oh, this is actually hilarious. It's February, it's your birthday month, and cats. We could do that same thing, but with a cat peeking out. And I don't have to draw the cat's body. So just like win, win, win. We'll put that as one of our options. We are gonna vote between these different options momentarily. Let me just find 2 more. I like to give 4 options for a vote whenever possible. Let's see, 2 more themes with cats. Okay, I'm gonna go back and try, let's scroll down from here. I mean, even something like this would work, excuse me, if we would have, yeah, like the month here, a mini calendar, and then we could have like a cat toy, a food dish, and some little paw prints, you know? And then do the washi tape, do the border, take those elements, but I mean, obviously change it drastically to make it about cats. Let's see if we can find one more option. I'm gonna scroll down from here. Okay, I feel like we had this same sort of option last time with like a doodly cat in the middle and then smaller cat related doodles kind of overlapping with the grid in the background and then the title underneath. Okay, so those are gonna be our 4 options. I'm just gonna hop back into TikTok to see if I've missed any comments from Kristine. Oh, was I freezing? Oh, cat tree. You're right, that is what that's called, isn't it? They're all on Pinterest, yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna open my Photos app and go back to our recent screenshots. So, just so you guys can picture what I'm picturing, this is my capability with cats. We're not having a realistic cat here. We're having a blob that resembles a cat. So something like this, maybe this. And then these are just some ideas for extra little accessories that can go with the cat. Love the idea of a cat peeking and more cats. And again, cat accessories. Okay, so this is the level of doodle that we're looking at. We want to choose a cover layout, which obviously will look completely different because we're going to change the colors, change the doodles, but we just want a layout. So I am going to give you guys 4 options. If there's a moderator ready to do a poll, just wait maybe like till I'm on option 3 or something, and then maybe even 4 actually. Wait till I'm talking through option 4 and then throw up the poll and I'll flip through them again while the poll is up. But I just want to give a bit of a more lengthy description before the poll starts. So obviously the month is February, the doodle is cat. Those things would change. We would change these to be, I don't know, maybe different flowers. Like we could keep some of the flowery element in, but basically the idea of having a frame with a cat with a pattern behind it, month below, and then who knows what kind of doodles we'd fill in. Don't know the color palette, that's TBA. Yeah, TBD, to be decided by us. But that will be option 1, a frame with a pattern with a cat. Option 2 would be, we would probably change the least about this theme because it's so ironic. We are using it for the month of February. We are using it for her birthday month, but we would want a cat. So this theme actually would not change a lot. Maybe the colors. I don't know what kind of colors Kristine would want for this theme or if we vote on them, but the biggest thing that would change in this theme would for sure be a cat. I'm not sure what else we would change, but that's option 2. Option 3 would change a lot. So we would have February, we could do the mini calendar under, washi, and the border. Those are kind of the elements that will change the least. But then this would just be a cat with some cat-related doodles, maybe a food dish, maybe a ball of yarn, and some little kitty paw prints. That's option 3. And then option 4, kind of similar, very similar to option 3, honestly. But the cat would be bigger. That would be the even more prominent element. And instead of the border and the washi tape, we would have a grid going on behind the cat. And, you know, we're going to end up voting on the font for both of these months. So the font isn't locked in with these. We vote on that anyways. But so yeah, the last 2 are kind of similar. So if we could go ahead and get a poll up and running, I'm just going to check on TikTok to see if that is going. Oh, it is. Lovely. Okay. So option 1, again, this is going to be a cat, pattern in the background, frame around, not sure what we'll doodle. That was option 1. This is option 2. Very little would change about this one, but we would have a cat here instead of a dog. Anything else, not sure how much it would change. That's option 2. This is option 3. Cat-related doodles, keep the border elements and that kind of stuff. And option 4, this is the cat. These are the cat-related doodles. Keep the grid background and the little calendar and stuff. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and cast your votes in the little poll that is just running out. Thank you guys so much for running the polls today. Let's see what we got. Option 2. Okay. Phew. I am glad. Not that the other ones would have been rough, but I definitely like option 2. Okay, who is this? Who comes into my live, sends emojis. I'm just gonna block that guy. Okay. Hey, Savannah. Yes, we are back into our first custom bullet journal of the year. So, Kristine, do you have any recommendations for the color palette? I know the example that we were looking at was kind of on the pastel side, but I want to do colors that you love. It's your birthday month. So if you have like a main color and then we can choose the extras or whatever. If you know you want blue, I'll swatch some blues for you and we can choose a blue. Just let me know if you have kind of a starting point that you would like for this color palette and then we'll get swatching. Oh, did you actually, Gail? That's hilarious. Thanks, Nicole. We can vote on it? Okay, what do you guys think? The cake in the picture was pink. Since we're not changing a lot of elements, I do want to change the colors. So I definitely don't want a pink cake. We could do a blue cake. I feel like the cake itself then, we should do light blue and then like the icing kind of around it. That would be a lot of blue in a row. That is true. But you know, then there's people like Janelle where we used the same like 6 colors in all of her monthly spreads because that's just what she likes. So it's not necessarily bad. It's just a matter of preference if you want the colors to change drastically each month or just kind of stick with something you like. What about purple? Oh no, we did purple in January too. Pink, blue, or purple are like the 3 colors that come to mind for a cutesy little cake. But pink is in the picture and we just used a lot of blue and a lot of purple. Yellow's cute. I know pink could work, but that's what's in the picture. Kristine, sorry, I almost said Ivy. The cat is light brown with darker brown schmoozles. Pink, yellow. Ooh, Ivy birthday candle colors. I did love that theme. Red. This is tricky, you guys. Okay, yeah, so let me show you the picture. The picture has light pink cake with like brighter pink icing and stuff on the cake. And I love that, like a lighter color with the darker version layered on top. I feel like that would work so well with purple, blue, or pink, but we don't really want to copy the picture that much, but we also just used purple and blue, so I'm feeling a little bit stuck. Peachy and tan, light green, yellow, and orange. We could do that sort of color palette. Light green, yellow, orange. Do the green. Orange and red. So let me just ask, Kristine, do you for sure not want to do blue and purple as the main colors here? Because like if you weren't here, I would do blue for your cake because I know it's your favorite color and this is your birthday month. But if you for sure don't want that, then I'll do something different. The muted yellow, yeah, I do like muted yellow. I will swatch some colors. That's just, I feel like that's not even the problem. It's just deciding what our options even are. Like, you know, I would love to do blue or purple. I feel like that would work most naturally. But we just used a lot of those. And then we don't really want to do pink because we don't want to copy exactly the picture. Okay, since blue is Kristine's favorite color, and you know what? I've got different blues. This is the blue that I used in January. This is pretty similar. So let me swatch more of a different palette here for my blues. I mean, they're obviously still going to be blue, but much different. Let me see here. So for this, we'll be choosing the lighter blue. So the cake has a lighter color underneath, and then the same color, well, like a darker variation of the same color, I should say, over top. So we're swatching for the lighter color. This blue has not a crazy like greenish undertone, but definitely more so than the ones that I'm about to swatch. These ones have a bit more of a purpley undertone. So we'll change up we won't use, oh wait, are these the exact same markers? Oh yeah, I just grabbed 2 533s. These ones always confuse me because these two blues by Tombow that are very similar but not quite the same. One is 533 and one is 553. And so I always get them mixed up. Okay, that one is a little bit lighter than that one. 1, 2. This is a very gray blue. It looks gray next to those blues, but I used it as a blue in my own yearly spreads and it looks blue. And then that's very bright. Okay, so these are all, I would say, quite different than the blue that we used here. Okay, I'm just seeing, yeah, moderators, again, no pressure to do anything, no pressure even to be here. But if you do notice that Kristine comments something, like she likes a certain color, if you don't mind pinning that, that would be great, because I often am looking down for a string of like 8 comments because I'm coloring and I don't want to miss one of hers. So could we get a poll running here for 4 different options? And remember, this is just going to be the lighter color on the cake, and then we're going to pair a darker blue with it. So just trying to decide if I want to add, actually, I feel like 1 and 2 are too similar. Don't vote for 1. Give me 1 second. There, that's still quite different than the first one, but it's 1 and 2 are just too similar. Okay, so this is the new 1, 2, 3, 4. The lighter version of whatever we're gonna pair together for our cake. 1, 2, 3, or 4, go ahead and cast your votes. And then based on the color that we choose, I will gather some darker blue options. Yes, that's true. You do have to vote in the polls in the top. That's the only way TikTok will add it up for us. Top left, right underneath my name. We will be doing more, so now you know it'll be over there somewhere. Option 2, 1. Okay, I love that. That is one of my favorite blues. Okay, so this is our winner. Let's choose a darker blue to use for the icing. So we could go, I'm only gonna have like maybe 3 options here. I don't have as many options for this one. Whoever's firing up the next poll. It's gone now, Shadow and Truth, but just wait like 30 seconds, we'll put up another one. Okay, so that's just very slightly darker, but you will notice a difference when it's layered on the cake or something. Okay, or we could, no, that's a little bit too greenish undertone. Okay, don't judge me. I don't actually know what this blue looks like. Okay, it's a lot brighter, but I'll keep it in the poll just in case. And then this is more of like a navy if we want a bigger jump. So those are gonna be our 3 blues for this poll. 1, 2, 3. Now you should see another one up there. Looks like a clipboard, white and blue. If you're watching on a computer or if you currently have your commenting box open to type, you won't be able to see it. So if you're watching on a phone and you're not currently commenting, it should be right below my name. You can choose option 1, 2, or 3 from the poll to pair as like the darker version for this blue. Oh, good. Glad we got it sorted. Now I'm curious, while we're running the poll, I'm not gonna do a poll on this, but should we keep the cake a heart like Valentine's, or should I change that about the picture too and just make it be a circle cake? Because that would be another element that we could easily change to make it like not exactly copying the picture. Because we didn't set out to do a Valentine's theme, you know? It just kind of happens to also be Valentine's month. So I'm guessing that's why the cake is a heart. You think heart, heart, heart? Oh, okay. Never mind. What did we get from this poll? Option 2. Okay, we're going brighter. Sounds good. And again, Kristine, if there's anything that you see that you would like to change, overrule, anything, you just let me know. This is your journal. Polls don't mean anything if you overrule something. Okay, next we need other colors to pair with those for our like lettering and confetti. And I think I might just fill in those gaps. We could do a paw print shaped cake. That would be really cute, actually. Does that sound good to you, Kristine? Because we could totally do that. I'm thinking we paired this with a yellow. Maybe not a purple this time because we just did a lot of purple and we did go back to the blue. So maybe let's not bring in another purple, but we could bring in a pink and then maybe a green. How about that? I think that's good. Okay, yes, let's do a popcorn cake. Okay, I love that idea. Thank you so much, whoever suggested that, because I never would have thought of it, but it's better than my ideas. Pale yellow would be better. I do have a paler one. How about this instead? Does that sound good? Stephanie says, I love that yellow. Yes, yes, okay. Lock in the paler yellow. Lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the cake and then the cat, and then we're gonna vote on the lettering style because that's another element that we can easily change. We don't need to do the same sort of bubbly letters that they did. We can change that. So, paw print cake, obviously something that I've never drawn before. So we're just gonna be learning together. I'm gonna draw the top of the cake, the shape of a paw. And then the thing is, all of the little fingers, I know they're not fingers, but what? Are gonna be attached to the cake because it's all one piece, but then the icing is gonna separate them. So don't worry, I'm drawing this all as one blob, but the icing is going to separate these. toe pads. There we go. It's all gonna be one blob for now. All right. Toe beans. Okay. Never heard that one. Now we're going to use icing to kind of define our sections here. And then Kristine, in the picture, she has, I'm assuming her age, she's got 25 written on the cake. Would you like your age, or would you like happy birthday, or just like a few candles, anything? Or we don't need to do anything, but that's what the picture has, is her age. Happy birthday? Okay, lovely. We will do that. And then we'll have some like icing hanging down like this. And then a little row of okay, now let me think here. Yes, we'll write happy birthday on there. We're gonna have a little cat peeking out, and we will choose the lettering. Let me do the happy birthday. I'm gonna do birthday first. And then the happy, a little bit smaller. There, happy birthday. Okay. And we're gonna do a little cat peeking out. So let me swipe to my cat doodles here. And we want it to be light brown, right? Let me swatch cat colors here. I realize we didn't do that yet. And Kristine, I'll just, I don't think I'll put these up for a poll. I just want to know which one looks the most like what you have in mind. To be honest, I don't have a whole lot of light browns, but I'm gonna swatch a few, and you can let me know which one you want as kind of like the base color of your cat, and then we'll have a darker brown on top. We've got that one, this one, or like even lighter, like the one that's on the floor, or that. Maybe let's just do those three, because the one that's on the floor is basically identical. Do any of those work for the like base layer of your cat, the first one? Okay, great. And then for the next layer, I can do something like this. or that, or much darker like this. Let me see, what else do I have for browns? I've got the Crayola Colors of the World in a different drawer here. Let me grab one of those. Something like that. You can let me know if any of those fit your cat's kind of schmoozly stripes. Oop. So pairing with option 1, does one of these fit the number 3? Okay, lovely. That is kind of what I suspected. Okay, let me just pick up this marker that I dropped on the floor, because it's one of my favorites and I know that I'll forget where I dropped it and think that it's missing and then think I need to buy a new one. Okay, so we're gonna do a little cat peeking out from behind the cake. And let's do, should we do the one that's got his little paws in the air like he's excited? I was looking at these. I was thinking maybe I guess he's number 5. He's cute. What do you think? He's got his little paws in the air like he's cheering happy birthday. What do you guys think? Hello, yes, I do remember you. Yes, yes. Okay, I think I'll just do that one then. So, let's get his little paws up in the air. Paw in the air. Paw in the air. And then a little head. Add some little pink bits in here before I color everything with our base color. Oh, puzzle piece, thank you. Nope, no puzzle piece yet. Okay. Now we need to do the little face. So we got happy, curved eyes. I feel like I'm gonna add the stripes and then decide if I need to outline the whole thing in black. I don't want to, because I know I don't want to outline the cake in black, so I feel like it would suck to have to outline the cat in black. Maybe I'll start off by outlining that part in brown so that you can see where it is at least. But what do you think? Do I need to outline the whole cat in black? I feel like his feet kind of need something. I like the paws kind of disappeared. But other than that, he looks cute. Sorry, I don't know what kind of cat you have. He, she, it. I'm just gonna add a very faint outline around the paws. You can tell I was trying to do something here. And the ears. And there. But yeah, I'm not gonna lock myself into outlining the whole thing. But now we can at least see a little bit more detail. Now let's choose a boy named Jasper. Lovely. Okay, we gotta choose how we want to do our lettering underneath. So it's gonna say February. We chose an assortment of other colors. So these two were our main blues. These ended up being our main browns. And then these three are gonna be accent colors as needed. You know, on the cover of our sample picture, they have like confetti. So that's kind of what I was thinking when I chose those other colors. We don't need to use them if we don't want to, but that's why they're there. So for our lettering, we want to write February under here. Let me show you the sample picture because I love their lettering, but again, we don't want to like copy the sample picture too closely. I know we already changed the cake shape. We changed the animal. It's not like we're copying, but still. I like to try to keep my themes a little more original than that. But we could do some sort of bubbly letter. I would try to make mine look different. Let's see here. What could we do? Let me think. We could do one sort of letter where it's still bubbly, but it would look different than that. So I would do like the F and then leave a little border and then turn it bubbly with a black outline around, or we could do like just bubbly outlines instead of filling in the whole letter. Or we can do, obviously we could do some sort of calligraphy for February. We could do like color changing calligraphy using some of the colors that we picked. Or yeah, we could lean more into the browns and do like, oh yeah, okay. The cat's tails idea, but just like this, but like the cat, like kind of stripes on each letter. We could do that. Or we could ditch the stripes and just do brown with like a drop shadow kind of thing on one side of it, or both. Okay, I think those are enough. We'll vote on these sort of ideas. So I do have a few bubbly-ish options because yeah, I feel like those fit well with the theme. And then one cat-ish. So I'm gonna pair it next to here or put it next to here when we vote so that you can see. Maybe I'll put it over here, sorry, as I move it so close that you can't see anything. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. We need a heading for February underneath. I'm thinking this cycling through colors, this kind of thing cycling through colors, this cycling through colors, or this just brown, but make the colors look kind of cat-ish. Something like that. And then, yeah, we can add some confetti or some other doodles around as well. Alrighty, let's see how the poll turned out. Option 4. All right, and do we like the cat stripes and the sort of drop shadow? Or do we want just one of those? Just stripes, yes, both. Okay, sounds like both, maybe. I feel like I saw a few for both in there. Feb. All right, do we want to add more color to this page? What do you guys think? We could add confetti. We could add like other cat related doodles, or yeah, streamers, confetti, cat related doodles. Let me think here. I agree, it needs something. Balloons, yeah, we could add balloons. Okay, let's see here. Streamers. Streamers and confetti. Okay, so streamers would be coming down from the ceiling or like hanging like this. Do you know what I mean? I can't picture. I don't know what people mean actually by how do you use streamers. I know what streamers are in my head, but I can't picture like, you know, would they hang down? Okay, hanging down. We could do streamers. That I feel like would fill the page quite a bit if that's what we want, because it would fill, you know, this whole top part would have pretty much a solid fill and then maybe a few like kind of falling. Oh yeah, the bunting like that. Yeah, we could do some bunting. Let me think here. Okay, maybe we should do a poll on this. I feel like, yeah, sure. So these are the other colors that we were thinking of bringing in. Let me think of 4 different options here. Okay, so we could do streamers, which are going to be coming down. We could do bunting, which wouldn't look like this, but that's, you know, I wouldn't use green for the string and green for all the buntings, but that's the idea. We could do like more random, like confetti around the page, or we could do balloons. Let's make those kind of our 4 options. Obviously not everything would be drawn just in green. Could I get a poll for 4, please? So yes, none of them would be drawn all in green like this. This is just my quick sketch to remind us of what we're actually voting for. So option 1 would be to add streamers coming down. Option 2 would be to add like kind of rows of bunting along the top, and we could still add like some sparkles by the cake and stuff, because that would be very top heavy. Option 3 would be to just add kind of loose random ribbons and confetti around the page, and then option 4 would be balloons. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. 3 would be the most similar to the original picture that we were looking at. Yes, poll is in the top corner, right there, blue and white, looks like a clipboard. Go ahead and cast your vote. Okay, people like 2 and 3. Do you mean 2 and 3 together? Because we could pair. Let's see here. Option 3, is that from the most recent vote, or am I looking at? Oh yeah, my husband is doing some guitar. I like that you named him Anahi. 3, 1, okay. So 3 was just random confetti sprinkled around. They were kind of close. They weren't like crazy close. I'm trying to think if I want to do both, or if my husband's name isn't Steve. That's the name Anahi gave him. So here's my thing. The streamers I was thinking, or the random number 3 random confetti things would be mostly around here. but then the bunting would be on the top. And I feel like if I have things kind of centered, that works, but as soon as I add the bunting to the top and things here, then I feel like I need to come up with something for the bottom. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of changes the weight of the page, and I don't know if I want to do that. So I think I might just go with 3 because that's what we voted for, and just commit to it and do some nice random little squiggles and doodles of confetti. Yes, it will be multicolored for sure. Sure, I'll let him know that he's going by Steve now. All right, and then I'm gonna add a few just like small dainty sparkles kind of mixed in with this. Oh, no worries, Paige. I think there's been other mods here today. Don't feel like you need to be available. Yes, this is a new custom. This is Kristine's journal. Let me show you what we've got so far. So it's for 2027, so we're only 1 month deep. We got January, we did this little snowflake theme, cleaning tracker, cover page, 2-page calendar with a notes box, and then these are the weekly spreads for January. And then we just finished the cover page here for February, which is her birthday month, and she chose a cat theme, and then we're gonna do her cleaning tracker as well. I'm just realizing, you guys, I hope this doesn't turn off my live, but I need to set my kids' wake up timer, and the only way to do that is on my phone. Is there a way to pause a live? Oh yeah, pause live. Okay, I'm gonna pause for just a sec. I'll be right back. Okay, did that work? Everyone made it back? Sorry, you guys. We just can you guys see me yet? I can't see me on my iPad. Oh, now I can. Okay. On the last week, I guess, we switched my son to a toddler bed, which he was well ready for. You know, he's 3, he's a big kid, like very tall. He definitely was ready for the switch. I've just been kind of putting it off because he stays awake for a long time after we put him to bed. So I was like, if we change his bed, he's just gonna stay, like, now he's got the whole room to roam while he's awake for 2 hours before he falls asleep, kind of thing. So I was putting it off for a long time, but we finally did it last weekend. So it's already been over a week, I think. But I had configured his sound machine to do like a wake up sound, and then I turned it off yesterday. Can't remember why, and forgot to turn it back on. So I wanted to make sure, actually maybe I'll do this blue just because, yeah, so I just wanted to turn it back on so that he would actually get the memo that it's time to wake up. Because he has been doing such a good job with that. He loves his wake up song, and he's like, You can just tell he loves the responsibility that he has now. Like, you know, that it's not just like he stays in there till we come get him. He stays in there and he does such a good job. And then as soon as his wake up sound goes, you just hear a huge stomp. Like he just jumps out of the bed, sprints out of his room. Like he takes it very seriously. I've told him, like, buddy, you can just relax. Like that's just telling you that you can get up. But no, he like, this is his work and he's going to do it well. So I want to make sure that he gets his wake up song today instead of just dad coming in saying it's time to wake up, because I feel like that might not go over so well. You know, 3-year-olds. All right, so this is going to be her cleaning tracker. Yes, I can show you January. Sorry, Rachel. Just give me one sec. There's January. We did a snowflake theme. Alrighty, cleaning tracker, and February is gonna have 4 weeks in it, hey? Yeah, it'll have this, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna leave 4 columns at the end here. Alrighty. Cleaning tracker, I need to write at the top. And then I kind of want to use the same font just to balance it out, but maybe just like for tracker and then do blue, or like blue calligraphy on top for cleaning. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because it's obviously too big of a font to write cleaning tracker. That would be just jam-packed, but I do like that font. And I feel like it would tie the pages together nicely. So we'll do that, TR. Oh yeah, Stephanie. Is she in your guys' room right now or with a different sibling? Yeah, we want to move our boys together. Our other one is still in our room. He's a 1.5 and he sleeps great. Like he sleeps through the night 99% of the time. Like we definitely can move him into the other room. We had them together in a room for 2 nights over the holidays and they did quite well, but they were up until like 11, just being silly with each other. Like the 1.5-year-old was giving the 3-year-old his soother and they were like throwing teddies back and forth. Like they were being silly. They stayed up so late and woke up earlier, like 2 hours earlier, both nights. And so I was like, if that's a sign of what's to come, I am not super eager, but like they both slept through the night just fine. Like that was normal, but I am not an early wake up mom at this stage of my life. And so lately in their own separate spaces, they've both been sleeping till 8 and that has been amazing. That just changed. My baby was a crack of dawn 5 a.m. wake up baby until like Christmas holidays. So I am so thankful and I'm like, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that, but we'll see. Oh, I see, Stephanie. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Oh, Taylor, I'm sorry. Yeah, my first didn't sleep through the night until like seriously miraculous, like 3 weeks before we had our second. He started sleeping through the night, like just on his own. I am so thankful. And then our second, we did sleep train. A fairly gentle version. I did my research and kind of found the most gentle one I could find, but you know, there is some crying. But he is seriously such a good sleeper. And he's a good sleeper and he just loves being in his playpen or his crib, wherever. Like when he gets sad, he will just walk to his crib and say, in. He just wants to go in there and snuggle his teddies, hang out in his crib, like, you know. So it didn't scare him at all. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it seems like if you make them sad like that, they're going to be scared of their crib and they're not going to want to stay in there. But he loves his crib. But anyways. In about 5 minutes, you'll hear my oldest. Well, I don't know if we'll hear him from here because we're not right below him, but if you hear a big thud, that's him jumping out of his bed at the exact moment that he hears his wake up timer. Okay, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Let's write that in. Alrighty, there we go. We've got our cleaning tracker and cover design for February. They did turn out pretty cute, hey? I feel like there's always a moment where I just like tense up and I'm like, I don't know if this is quite what I had in my head, but then it comes out. It always turns out fine. Just gotta trust the process. Okay, so moving on to February's calendar. I'm gonna pull up a calendar for February 2027, but I am interested to hear from you guys. This is the one calendar style that I often do. So I'll use the darkest color usually from the color palette. So I would either do the dark blue or the dark brown to do an outline with rounded corners, and then the dates go into dots. That's the one style I do. The other one that I do is like, we don't do a full border. We just do the top line in black and then like a color highlighted line underneath it, you know, and we do the vertical lines too to separate the days, right? No, we don't. No, we don't even do the vertical lines. It's just a top line and then a highlighted line underneath it for all of the weeks. I'm trying to decide which one to do for this month because I feel like it's another month that would actually work quite well with this style. But we could do, yeah, like if we want to bring our confetti colors in more prominently, you know, we could do a highlight row of pink, green, blue, and yellow. Or if we do this style, we could keep more like the browns and blues as kind of the focal point. I don't know. Any thoughts? Maybe we should do a poll. Could I get a 2-option poll? Oh no, Shelby, that is not my regular handwriting. My regular, oh wait, this? Yes, that is. I thought you were asking about this, and then I realized, wait, I was probably way on to that. Highlights with the pastels. Second choice, okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll just do a 2-option poll. I feel like there must be a bit of a delay because I feel like I asked the question and then saw no answers, but I must have just moved on too quickly because there's a bit of a lag. Okay, so option 1 is to keep the formatting of the calendar like this. So we would use one of our dark colors, dark brown or dark blue, to do the outline, and then our lighter colors to do dots for the days. That's option 1. Option 2, we don't have a full outline. We just have a black line above each row and then a full color highlight below that row with the numbers written onto the highlight. So we would shuffle through our colors like pink, blue, green, yellow, brown, whatever. That's option 2. So option 1, just like this. Option 2, a highlighted row instead of the highlighted dots for the dates. those are the two options. And I'm gonna pull up the 2026 calendar, 2027 for February, to make sure that I number this out correctly. Let's see, which one? Option 2. Okay, lovely. I'm gonna use a black then. Eight down, 3, 6, 8. Okay. And so do we want to bring in all of our colors, like all of our confetti colors, or stick mostly with the blue and brown? Oh, right, and then we've got, wait a sec. Oh, so this was supposed to be that. 1, 2, 4, 5. Confetti, all colors, blue and brown. Okay, I am going to lead off with blue and brown. Well, I'll lead off with brown and then blue next. Okay. That was to remind me about the puzzle piece, but also my yogurt in the crock pot is supposed to stay at this stage for 2 to 3 hours, and that was the 2-hour mark. So I'm not gonna like stop early to go check it. I just wanted to be aware. Blue and brown. Okay, Kristine hasn't commented on the color thing, right? I just don't want to miss anything. So if she's good with both, then we can add some other colors. Alternate. Okay. Blue and brown, alternating. All right. Now, what do you guys think for the heading? February. Could do the same font again, or we could bring in more color up there. Any thoughts? We could do bubble letters, like the same sort of shape of letters, but just not the cat-like letters. We could use other colors, or we could do calligraphy, like we did do some blue calligraphy here and on the cake. So we could do that. Either color changing or just the dark blue. Darker blue calligraphy, dark blue with color doodles around, darker blue. Okay, so I see a few requests for color changing. A few requests for the darker blue. I suppose we could do a poll. I feel like I'm spending too much time on polls today. Yes, this is for 2027. We just started Kristine's order yesterday, so we've made it through January, and then we're just starting February. Working on the calendar page right now. Yes, Kim, we're onto a brand new one. This is Kristine's journal. Okay, does someone want to start a poll? Let's make it let me think, a 4-option poll. 4-option poll, options being blue calligraphy, which would match the blue that we have here. We already have blue calligraphy. Option 2 would be the other font that we already have. So it's the one that kind of mimics the cat coloring. I'm going to do a super quick version of that because we already seen it. That's the second option. The third option would be to do color changing calligraphy. So we go from pink to green, whatever, with our confetti colors. And then the fourth option is to do a similar bubbly font, but again, color changing. So we're gonna stick with the same kind of 2 font styles that we have, but we could basically choose if we want to bring in more of our confetti colors, which are very minor colors in the theme at this point, or if we want to really lean into the blue and brown. So let me number these here. Option 1, 2, 3, and 4 for our title here. 1, 2, 3, or 4 to write February onto this calendar. I don't always have an opinion. I do this time, but I don't think it's going to win the vote. Option 3, is that what won? I'm just always concerned that I'm not seeing the right poll. Did option 3 win? Does anyone want to confirm that with me? 3 won. Okay. Sounds good. Kind of still want to use blue to be something, the darker blue, but it doesn't totally match the pastels of the other ones. But I feel like we need a pop up there, you know? Okay, well, let's do the color changing then with these. And I'm wondering if I can sneak this in or if that will look too out of place, because it is a lot darker than all of our other colors. I should use the yellow. This yellow just sucks for calligraphy because it's not... I did want option 1, which is so unusual. I love color changing calligraphy, but I thought that it would just pop nicely on this page and then maybe like confetti around it to keep these more on the fringe. But it's not my journal, number 1. And Kristine did not cast a specific vote, so we're going with the majority. So let's do the color changing. This one just sucks because it's not a brush pen, so I have to fake it. There. All right, and then let's darken up the bottom half of each letter a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe to give it that little bit more pop, some kind of dark drop shadow, like black, not gray. You know, sometimes I do a light gray, but I feel like this could maybe benefit from a black drop shadow. Like more of an outline drop shadow, not like a thick one like I do sometimes with the gray. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully you guys see the vision soon. I just feel like it'll help it to have a little bit more pop. All right, now I'm thinking, what do you guys think for this side of the page? We need a notes box. Let me show you how we did that in January. So in January, which worked really well with January's theme, we had a box and then filled the page other than that box. I'm thinking different style would probably suit February better. Maybe like a doodle, like a cat poking out here, and then a box, and then like some confetti in some of the loose spaces or something, but more of like a focal point doodle instead of just a filled space. I feel like would work better with this theme. You know what I mean? Hey, Carson. All right, there's our February lettering. Okay, so any thoughts for the bottom corner? Do you like the cat poking out, or do we want to do something different? This theme, yeah, now it kind of goes in a couple different directions, because we could do cat, or we could do more of like the birthday side of things, you know? Love the cat. Well, notes box is kind of the prompt. Like that's what we're trying to fit in here. We're not really looking for extra like content pieces, just kind of doodles. You know what I mean? Cat is cute. And then some cat related doodles. Cat with a birthday hat. That's cute. Okay, so let's do a cat in this corner with a birthday hat. And then we'll do the notes box above, and then maybe cat related doodles up here instead of confetti. What do we want to like lean into for our small doodle? You know, we used confetti here, but for our small doodle, we do have like cat related ideas, you know, like that little mouse toy, paw prints, ball of yarn. We do have other things that we can use as like our smaller accent doodles. So maybe let's leave the streamers behind for now and bring them back out if needed. Okay, so let me go back to my cat doodle inspiration. No, sorry, my split screen just did me dirty. We're good. We did a cake with a cat popping out for the cover. We're not going to do that every time. I feel like we want to take these doodles now and use them in different ways, you know, instead of just copying the same doodle over and over. Love that idea, but I don't think we'll use it again. I think we will move in a new direction. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, no worries, Sharonda. No worries. Oh, thanks, Natalie. Yeah, we did a little cat print sort of thing. Let me see here. I'm just looking for cat duels, like what position I want the cat to be in, you know? Wearing a birthday hat. The easiest for me would be just like a head and a paw poking out, because then I don't need to worry about the body. But I know I already did that. I already kind of cheated with not having to draw a cat's body. But maybe I'll do it again. I'm looking at some of these other ones and they're kind of like, you know, they're different, but they're not any better. So maybe I just stick with what I like, what's easiest. All right, let's just do, we'll do them with open eyes this time and more like waving a paw. And then the other paw is just gonna be down. Oh, and then I forgot to fill that in with pink, silly me. I'll have to get my acrylic paint markers to do that. And then we've got a head. That ear, and then we'll have a birthday hat kind of tipping over on this side. And we'll bring in our dark blue from the cake to decorate the hat. Thanks, Natalie. You're funny. Okay, let's do some like kind of pom-poms around the bottom, and then a bigger pom-pom on the top, and then just like some, maybe we'll add a bit of white gel pen to do some like dots in the middle or something. Okay, now I did forget to draw the cat's paw, which I wanted to do. Yeah, that's not really gonna show up. So I should grab my paint markers. Those are upstairs though, because my toddler has claimed them as his own. But let's add some stripes. And there's the other paw here. I need a little face. Okay, and then we need a notes box. Wait, what did that? Whiskers, okay. My sample picture doesn't have whiskers. You know how I feel about straying from my sample. You're right though, that was an improvement. Okay, notes box we need. And I'm wondering if this would be a good place to bring in the dark blue to do notes in like maybe a blockier lettering, kind of similar to this lettering, but in blue. It could be yarn with string, yeah. Let me think. I'm gonna go ahead with the dark blue because I do just feel like it needs it. I'm gonna do that to write notes up here. In the same style of font as I did the cat font, but Not the cat pattern. Carton box cats. Notes. All right, let me see here. Thinking I could maybe just could honestly leave it like this and just add a bit of confetti around the partying cat and then not box this in. I'm trying to think of what else we could do. We could do that same thing but do highlighted lines. We could do the yarn thing. It's just, yeah, I don't really have like a picture going, you know, like where would I put the yarn over here? It's just not really part of this picture, you know, like the ball of yarn. That's my only thing with the yarn thing. Well, that, and I don't always, I don't always love that. Oh, we could turn this into that. I feel like sometimes they don't work out well, but that one could be cute. I just don't really see how, you know, if it would fit well with the picture. Gray highlights with confetti around the kitten. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards too. Just, yeah, like highlighted lines. And then because we are very much still on the birthday theme over here, we won't always be, like not every cat that we have is going to be celebrating a birthday. It's just a cat theme for lots of the time. So we could bring in the confetti again to just kind of fill this corner a little bit more, but then keep the rest a bit more minimal. Maybe let's do that. I do want to just, since most of our fonts so far have a bit of a drop shadow of some sort, I'm going to add that to the notes box here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, just the gray highlights and then some confetti. Okay, let's do a bit of confetti down here. Puzzle piece, good thought. Nope. We might not get one today. It likes to be tricky. Like, we got booted out by the puzzle piece yesterday, but then today it won't even give us one, I bet, at this point. Oh, thanks, Janelle. All right, there's our little party corner with the cat. I'm gonna add a few of those same just like small sparkles that I added on the cover page. Then we'll add some gray lines to the notes section, and then I think we'll be done with this page. Thanks, Shirley. I'm glad you guys like it. We'll add some gray to the notes box. And then I think I am going to have to go make some supper soon, but what I would love to do, yes, Sherry, well, not Sherry, I've been making great progress. We finished January's weekly spreads and started February today. What I want to do next is choose February's weekly layout. So for January, this is what we did. And Kristine, do you want to just confirm with me, do you want to lock in always having 2 boxes? So always having a total of 9, or just kind of see what the weekly spread layout that we choose, see what it gives space for. I'll always make sure that they give space for 8 or 9, because I know you want minimum 8, but if you want to just like lock in 9, just let me know. But we are going to head to Pinterest now and vote on our weekly layout. Okay, so I'll just stick with looking for layouts that use 8 or 9 then, because we actually found a good variety. So let me show you the ones that we saved yesterday but didn't end up using, because I feel like we could definitely use one of those for February. So we did not use this one. The idea here was just the tall daily boxes. This though, we would split Saturday and Sunday, and then this would be her one bonus section. So we would have, again, each of the 7 days. She doesn't want the weekend combined. She wants 7 separate days and then 1 or 2 additional spaces. So this would have the 7 days and then 1 additional space. Right, this would extend, and then all of the doodles and the title would be up here. So I'm going to keep this one in our poll today because it didn't win yesterday, and I feel like it fits what she wants really well. Another one that didn't win yesterday was this one, and same sort of deal. This one has 7 spaces as it is. I would just add, add an 8th over here. And if it were my journal, I would want to stretch this out and not have so much white space, just to have more functional planning space. So I think if I were to do this, I would have like decor just on the top, and then the bottom part of the page be divided into 8 boxes. This one also didn't win yesterday. So we've got the days of the week kind of in the middle 2 columns there. Again, spot for each day separately, no combined weekend. And then we would split this side into 2 bonus boxes, and then we would have space here for doodles and a monthly title. This one is another contender, and then this is the one that won the vote yesterday. Again, it ends up looking so different once we actually make her changes and go with her theme and everything. But this is the layout that we already use. So I'm actually gonna delete this one and then go to Pinterest and look for another 1 or 2 to vote on. So I'm gonna start on my weekly spreads board, but I'm gonna scroll down quite a bit because we already kind of sifted through the top part yesterday. Let's start somewhere over here. This is another one that we have done quite well, actually not exactly like this. I want to see if I can see the exact one that we use as our reference, but that sort of thing we've used a lot in custom journals lately. I like this too, where just kind of the minimalistic look with the lines dividing things. And then we could do, let me just take my screenshot already. We could do, 4 days over here, 3 days here with a doodle, or vice versa, and then have this spot be like her notes box and then the title up here. I like that. Okay, so I feel like we have a handful of good options. I'm gonna walk through them once, and then after I go through them once, if someone could start a poll with 5 options this time, that would be awesome. We'll go ahead and lock in her weekly spread for February. So option 1, we're gonna go back to yesterday's options. Tall vertical boxes for the days of the week. Again, we would divvy up Saturday and Sunday a bit more evenly. This would be a space for notes. Title and doodles would go up here. That's option 1. Option 2, we'd add a 4th corner to this box to be like our notes box and stretch them out a bit. So the doodles and stuff would just go on the top. That's option 2. Option 3, keep all of the days of the week in the middle. Use this side for her notes and this side for title and doodles. And then I got to skip to the new ones that I just added today because they're way at the back here. Option 4, right now it has 7 boxes, so we would need to add an 8th, or maybe add a half box here for her notes. Actually, I kind of like that idea. Adding like a half here and then having a smaller spot for like title here, doodle here, or something like that. So 7 boxes for the days, a box for notes, doodle and title, or like vice versa. We can put the skinny part up here and the bigger part down there. That would probably fit better. But anyways, that's option 4. And then option 5 would be to have 7 days split. So one of these would be removed and replaced with a day. The other one would be where our doodle would go. This would be her notes section. This would be her title page. those are our 5 options. If someone would go ahead and start a poll, I'm just going to go to TikTok and make sure that the poll is up and running. Okay, perfect. I'm running out of voice here talking about all these weekly spreads. Option 1, tall daily boxes, notes, title, and doodles. Option 2, square daily boxes, notes, title, and doodles. Option 3, days in the center, notes, title, and doodles. Option 4, 4 days and a title, or vice versa, and then a notes box and doodle. And then option 5, 4 days, 3 days, a doodle, notes, and a title. Those are the options. The vote poll might already be done. I have not been paying attention. Oh, it hasn't. Okay. Those are the options. Yes, Sunday start. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, let's see who won the poll here. Which weekly spread? Oh, that was a close one, hey? Oh no, option 5 won. Okay, it wasn't even that close. I just couldn't see option 5 at the first look. Excellent. Very cute. So I might actually just kind of mark in my spacing, and then I'm gonna have to go make supper pretty quick here, but let's mark in the spacing. You can probably hear the kids are awake now. They're playing some hockey as usual. Okay, so we need 4 weeks for this month. We're gonna split it. The halfway point is 6.5 centimeters, or 13 dots if you're using one of my journals. 6.5. 6.5. That was 3, right? I gotta count these again. 1, 2, 3, yes, 4. No, sorry, Moira, I won't be back on tonight. We're having my brother and his girlfriend over for supper. And actually, not supper. They changed their plan. The evening. So that's why I did 2 back-to-back afternoon lives. I know it's nice to get an evening live in there, but I plan to do that tomorrow, to be live in the evening tomorrow is my plan. 0, 6, 12 is my spacing for this. Thank you. Zero, 6, 12. 0, 6, 12. 0, 6, 12. Okay, excellent. Oh, candy pie. That's the wrong question. I have been really not slacking on my suppers, but just slacking on thinking about my suppers, where I'll just like pull out a meat and then decide supper based on whenever I feel like starting supper. So if I start supper 20 minutes before we want to eat, it's going to be a quick one. If I start at an hour before, it's going to be something a little bit more involved. So I don't know what's for dinner, but it will get made and we'll eat. It will be good. I pulled out some sausage, so we will see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining today. We covered quite a bit of ground. We finished January's weekly spreads and we started on this little cat theme for her birthday month of February. Like I said, I do plan to be back tomorrow in the evening, as well as probably Thursday in the evening. But if you like to be more certain of when I'm going to be live and what we're going to be working on, Instagram is the place to be. I always post those sorts of announcements in my stories every morning, just kind of with the plan for the day. So feel free to join me there if you're interested. You can also catch the replay on YouTube. I upload it the next morning typically. So the replay for today will be on YouTube tomorrow. And yeah, if you're interested in a journal for yourself, you can find them at RyleeAutumn.com. Use your discount code livestream to get 10% off. And I hope to see you guys later this week to keep working on Kristine's